Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. So today's video is going to be of Teumesia solo in stage 20 of Spider, and I think this is the fastest champion to solo anything, okay? And it is so incredibly quick. First off, big shout out to fellow clanmate of mine, Qui-Gon Sean, also my dad. Thank you for letting me jump into your account and showcase this. But I'm going to turn it to unlimited frames, and we're going to do low graphic quality, and I'm going to show you guys how fast my dad's Teumesia can solo stage 20 of Spider. It's absolutely crazy. Now, I'm going to go ahead and preface this by saying the build for Teumesia is not free, like maybe free to play. I don't know how much he spends, but it's not beginner friendly, okay? Like this build, I don't know if I have the gear on my account to do it. Not 100% sure. Maybe, but it's very specific. It's very fast, and anything outside the speed requirements may not be that crazy, but the speed requirements here are pretty high, okay? We got unlimited FPS here, but I guess when you're solo in stage 20 with a champion who's attack-based, it's going to be pretty high stat requirements. Now, maybe you could try other builds, but the one we're showcasing today is specifically with Frenzy gear. Now, I think this is probably the only champion that I know of who can do solo content with Frenzy gear. This is going to be sub 45 seconds. Wow. 42 seconds. 100% Spider stage 20, 42 seconds. Guys, he is farming so much silver so quickly, leveling up so many champions with Teumesia. Absolutely incredible. Now, I don't know if she can do stage 24. I don't think she can. We'll just try it one time for the video. Dad, we're going to waste 18 energy. We'll just test it out one time, and then I'll show you guys all the builds, the breakdown, everything involved with this. And yeah, what's got it to 100%. I don't think it can do 24, but maybe. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, the thing is though, is that 25 is like the area you want to do if you're doing like solo, like as far as CVC points. So it's really either 20 or 25. Okay, 25 would be for extra CVC points, a little bit higher quality accessories, but 20 is gonna be better for good quantity of gear, as well as getting a decent enough CVC points. And it's probably easy enough, probably a lot easier. But maybe she can do this because the speeds are pretty much the same. Can she solo everything? Can she solo 25 too? That's going to be actually crazy if she can. I mean, the speeds of these stages are about the same. And she's in Frenzy gear, so she may be able to. 43 seconds, the same thing on stage 24? Dang, I don't know if my dad's actually tested this or not. But let's see stage 25. Teumesia, can you do stage 25 as well? Go ahead and impress me. We're going to spend a total of, 120 seconds, so like 2 minutes, doing 20, 24, and 25 of Spiders. Crazy. All with one champion. Absolutely insane. Now, Frenzy gear works so good. Honestly, I think Frenzy gear is really like only for Teumesia as far as soloing content, because her kit just works absolutely amazing with the Frenzy gear. Sorry, I had a mind blank there because this is actually going pretty well. And I think you can actually do this solo, which could be perfect for CVC. I mean, you can level your champions, get good CVC points, get the good accessories to sell them, get really good CVC points, and then outside CVC, just go to Spider stage 20. I would actually venture to say that this would be 100% as well, because the Spiders don't really get a turn. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 runs of this, 42 seconds again. Dang, okay, this is actually, I didn't try this out before I actually got on the video, so this is pretty impressive to me. The stats requirement as far as like the accuracy and resistance go on 20 and 25, I believe are very similar. The biggest issue is that when the Spiderlings start to attack you, they hit harder on stage 25 than 20, I believe. So most champions like my Crypt King Grawl, Akoth, Tyrant, other champions who can solo stage 20 have a hard time soloing stage 25, because when the Spiderlings start to hit, it starts to compound the damage pretty bad. Whereas Teumesia, she's wiping out all those spiders, putting down all the burns. Now, the data that my dad sent me over doesn't actually show Spider stage 25, so I'm not going to tell you guys this is 100% because we do look a little bit sketchy right there. So it's probably not going to be 100%. I mean, she's like 1 HP there, but she can do it, right? She's done it twice in a row. I'm definitely not going to say it's 100%, but that is definitely impressive. So that's something cool to see, if nothing else. Spider stage 25. But Spider stage 20 is what we're talking about. And this is what stage my dad does for his solo content, to level his champions, get good silver, fill up his inbox with his gear. Probably needs a gear cleanse maybe eventually. But either way, that's not what we're talking about today. We're going to be talking about Teumesia's build. So she has 2 blood shield accessories. She has a frenzy set, and then a banner that has HP on it. So let's go through here, click the pieces, and then I'll show you guys the RSL helper breakdown of everything. So you're going to notice right off the bat quite a bit of speed. We have a double roll speed there, a double roll speed here with good glyphs. Glyphs are very important, obviously, because this is +8 and then +8 here as well. That's 16 extra speed. That's basically a double roll speed on one of these pieces just from the glyphs. So glyphs are very, very important. +8 there as well. Obviously, huge impact. Massive, massive impact. We actually have a 5-star pair of gloves here. Defense percent, 50%. 14 plus 5. Okay, so double roll speed there. Everything's been double roll. This is a triple roll resistance chest plate. And then we have some speed boots. Now, I know one thing. He's been trying to not put her attack too high because killing all the spiderlings obviously is not a good thing for this run, because if you kill the burn targets, then it's going to make the run get slowed down, make it a little more complicated. So here are her stats right now. 44,000 HP. The attack is 3,300. She has a decent base attack as it is. So any attack you're getting from any other pieces of gear, it's going to add it up pretty quickly. Now you'll see that nothing on here is attack percentage, and nothing's really pushing damage whatsoever. 3,200 defense. That seems to be like the sweet spot between most farming champions. Solo farming champions is about 3,200, where the champions can do it consistently, okay? Now her speed currently is 294. The crit rate 33%, crit damage 134, probably from this necklace. I think he's just going for this necklace just so he can get the blood shield benefit, because he has a lot of other necklaces in here that he could use, but the only blood shield necklace. So that extra shield is making the run more consistent. Having both of these, a total of, I guess, basically 10% extra shielding. We're looking at a resistance of 297. I believe about 300 is where most people will shoot for, but 297, perfectly fine. I mean, she's resisting most of the stuff anyways. But if you want a little more safer, just push it a little bit above 300. Maybe he can glyph that. But hey, she's ran 100% as it is on stage 20. But maybe if you're daring enough to try 25, then maybe you can push that up a little bit higher. The accuracy number, perfect, 215. That's what you want to go for. Now the skills, everything is fully booked over here. Fully booked. I mean, if you're going to do stage 20 and everything's solo, you're probably going to want to fully book your champion. But check this out, okay? So she has the decreased defense on her A1, which isn't really doing a ton for her because she's winning based on the burns, okay? So the A1, if you didn't book that, obviously, it's perfectly fine. But the A2 and the A3, you do want those abilities booked. Now the A2, attacks all enemies. I'm going to read her kit because I think this is why she works so amazing in Frenzy gear. So she has a 75% chance of placing burn for 3 turns on everybody. 75% chance of placing stun for 1 turn on targets with 50% or more turn meter. Has a 75% chance of placing 30% decreased speed for 3 turns on targets with 50% or less turn meter, okay? Or less than 50% turn meter. So she's placing decreased speed and stun. So she's controlling the enemies very well. So when she gets hit, she takes a turn. If a spider is about to attack her anyways, then that frenzy gear is going to boost her up in the turn meter. She's going to take a turn ideally, and then stun those spiders who are about to attack her, because now they're above that 50% turn meter range, so she can actually stun them instead of just the decreased speed. The A3 attacks one enemy. Damage increases by 40% for each active HP burn. Probably getting the full amount of this of 400%. Also, 75% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. Decreases the turn meter by an additional 15% for each active HP burn in the battle. So basically, on this big spider, you're fully reducing the turn meter because there's so many little spiderlings burning that there's no way this isn't happening. So this is absolutely incredible. This is why her kit is so good. You fully reduce the turn meter, come back around, place a decreased speed on the big spider. The big spider is not eating the little spider. The big spider is not doing damage to you. The little spiders are stunned, decreased speed. Absolutely amazing kit to actually solo this content with frenzy gear. That's what I especially think is so interesting, is having the frenzy gear on this champion. Now her passive, whenever an ally receives freeze, it's not really going to matter because she has no allies. She's just running it solo, right? So that's her kit. Absolutely amazing. Now these are the masteries. The mastery setup right here, obviously not going extra crit rate because he doesn't want extra damage going out to everybody. Getting War Master for that little extra damage on the big spider. I'll get myself out of the way. Go ahead and disappear. Here we go. And there you guys go. So this is the mastery setup. If you want to run this similar, there is the masteries you want to use for this Teumesia build. Now let me pull up the RSL helper, and this will break down kind of and give some interesting information on why the speed is so crucial and important, okay? So here we have a Teumesia at 294. This is the Teumesia we're currently running, okay? This is the build exactly as it is, the exact setup, everything down to a T, what he currently runs, 100%. Now he did call me a second ago and tell me that after about 700 runs, he did notice a fail, but 700 runs and 1 fail, I guess the absolute worst RNG happened, and that's going to happen, okay? My spider team stage 25, I've done like 1,000 runs, and then boom, 1 fail. It's kind of weird why it happens, but it does, okay? So over 500 plus with no fails, and then say 501, there was 1 fail. But 100% right here, 153 runs, that's very, very consistent on spider. Good silver, good experience, the whole 9 yards. Now, the thing that's interesting, okay? So we'll go to the next page here. If I can. Actually, maybe I can't. Maybe this one here, I can do it. What is this link to? Let's see. So this is the same thing, I think. We're going to go ahead and back out. Okay, there. Now, this is the stats. In case you just want to see a template of the stats, here you go. I'll get rid of myself for just a second. If you guys want to take a screenshot of this, save it to your phone, open it up on PC, whatever it is, and just copy this down for your champion. Try to get as close as you can to especially the speed, defense, accuracy, and resistance. Well, honestly, just get as close as you can to all of these numbers because this is what's worked. And you'll see on the next screenshot where things start to get a little bit interesting. Because even with 44,000 HP, 3,200 defense, 294 speed, we go to the next one over here. If I can ever figure out how to actually navigate this thing. Why is it not actually working? Okay, let me go ahead and open this up. Here we go. Now, this one right here is a run that was 287 speed. Now, the HP, 42,000, 3,300 defense. So more defense, about the same HP, right? So the other one had, let's see, we had 4,400 versus 42,000, sorry, 44,000 versus 42,000. So a little bit less HP, but less speed, not a whole lot less speed. So you go from 287 to 294, the accuracy and resistance are exactly the same, just lose a little bit of HP, and the run drops from 100% consistency to 98% consistency. Now, that's not a huge deal, but obviously, if you're happy with 98% consistency, perfectly fine. But you'll notice, just from that little bit of speed drop, the run drops in the consistency. My dad actually sent me a few other screenshots of runs at like 270 speed, and it was like 96, 97% consistent. So keep that in mind. If you're not quite able to hit those speed marks, like if you still want to try it, then try to drop the speed, test it out, see if you're happy with the percentage consistency. Maybe try to keep the HP high because it looks like when the speed dropped, the HP dropped as well. So the HP drop could have contributed to the run not being as successful. But let's go ahead and go in here one more time, one final time. Check out this Teumesia, see how she's doing. And yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm definitely impressed that she did Spider Stage 25. So if some of you guys can get her to do Spider Stage 25 consistent, I would definitely be interested in showcasing that. But like I said, it looked like the HP and the speed dropped together and the run consistency dropped as well. But throughout this run, it doesn't look like she's really in much danger, at least from what I remember. Now, stage 25, obviously, she was in danger. So this big spider did get a turn just now, but every little bit of damage she takes, she gets more and more turn meter boosted. Now, the thing with Spider's Lair, it's so difficult. I think it's Spider's Lair, Spider's Den. I don't know what it is. But the difficulty with this is that there's so many little spiderlings attacking you. There's such a high chance eventually to land some poisons that if your champion's not built the exact right way, eventually those poisons, to like basically ignore when those poisons come through and still be able to survive, when those poisons actually do come through, it could definitely be a bad situation for you, if that makes sense. I've noticed that with my Acoth and my Tyrant builds, that they'll look clean for a long time, but eventually that resistance is going to get broken through. Some of those poisons are going to be applied. That's what causes the runs to kind of fail. So 53 seconds there. But either way, guys, thank you all for watching the video. Thank you for letting me showcase your account, Dad. I appreciate it. And yeah, good luck building your guys' Teumesia if you decide to. Like I said, the gear requirement is a little bit up there compared to some of the other champions, but it's a frenzy set. We don't really use frenzy set for that much else. And yeah, this is an awesome use for it for sure. But thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.